Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Back. I am Mary, and my partners in crime today are Miss Lori and Miss April. We have a great show planned. We have a guest who's been on our show before.
Yes.
He's been known to fight off the Chinese, and now he's fighting off ranchers, or not some ranchers, or fighting for some ranchers is what I should say. And then he's also an author. But anyway, welcome Robbie Doobie to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love being on.
Absolutely. So we got to know you way back in the Fufang days where you fought off the Chinese up in Grand Forks, and you did a fantastic job. But for someone who might be a first-time viewer, give us just a little background.
Sure. So yeah, my name is Robbie Doobie. I'm a partner at the law firm of Eklund and Blando, where I specialize in suing the government and representing citizens to protect their rights, including fighting against a lot of CCP companies that are trying to build critical energy infrastructure or projects in our country. One of the big ones and where we got our start was fighting the Fufang corn wet milling plant in Grand Forks, where they were trying to build it within just a few miles of our nuclear military base. And if Fufang is a CCP company that has ties to the People's Liberation Army, Chinese Communist Party military, and they wanted to be right next to our nuclear Air Force base. And the people stood up and said, this is not okay. We need to stop this. The city tried to shut them down and not even let them have a referendum. We took it all the way up to the North Dakota Supreme Court, and then the U.S. military stepped in and said, you cannot let this project go forward. And since then, I've been fighting CCP companies trying to get into our country all across the country. And recently, I've been expanding that fight to fight data centers and try to protect people's lands from these data centers coming in everywhere.
Wow, that's great to know. And, not only was it next to the Air Force Base, a nuclear Air Force Base, but 65 miles from a Space Force station as well. And so, huge deal. But more recently, you've been in the news regarding Ranchers' Rights Initiative. Why don't you talk to our viewers about that?
Yeah, I would love to. So I represent a group of cattle ranchers. I'm a cattle rancher myself. I have a beef cattle ranch down in Texas. But what's gone on in North Dakota is y'all guys have a beef commission that gets to spend a tremendous amount of public money. And our Constitution is supposed to be government by the people, and not government by elites, not government by the privileged, not government based on discriminatory labels, but government by the people. What North Dakota has done is they have said the majority of all beef commission seats get to be exclusively nominated by private organizations, the biggest one being the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. They get an absolute right to nominate to the beef commission, and the governor has to pick their nominees. That violates the law in its own way, and I want to talk about that. But also, there's these at-large seats. The idea being, well, even if you don't get the North Dakota Stockman seat, you can get the at-large seats. Except from the 1970s to now, there's only ever been one person who has ever gotten that seat who has not been a Stockmen's Association member or a Cattlewomen member, and that person is her family owns a ranch. That family is part of the North Dakota Stockmen's Association, and she got blasted in a member spotlight as a great member. So we don't even know if she's not actually a member. But the point being, if you're a cattleman in North Dakota and you are not part of the North Dakota Stockmen's Association or Cattlewomen, you have never had a chance in half a century to serve on the beef commission that is supposed to be a public government body. That's illegal, that's unconstitutional, and that's what we've been fighting for. The way I try to describe it, people say, well, what's so bad about the Stockmen's Association? It's not whether you like the Stockmen's Association or not, it's whether you think it's okay for the government to be controlled by private groups. And the challenge we bring there it's called a special law, but it's the idea being you're not allowed to have what the law calls closed class. The way I like to think about this is you're trying to pick what's for dinner, and you say, we're going to let the kids decide. Well, that's an open class, because theoretically you could always get more kids over time, right? So if kids get to decide on Wednesday, maybe that's your one kid, maybe it's 2, 3, 4 as you have a bigger and bigger family. If you say Johnny gets to decide what's for dinner, that's a closed class, because Johnny is the only one who will ever get to decide. No one can ever become Johnny, right? So when we turn to our government, the government could have said, we're going to let all cattlemen nominate to the seat. We're going to let anyone who raises beef cattle or is a milk producer or whatever have a say in our government. But they didn't do that. They said, we're going to pick and privilege a specific organization. And when people have come and tried to reform that law, the Stockmen's Association has fought tooth and nail every single time to make sure that didn't happen. And whenever that happens, you just have to ask yourself, why? Why are you so adamant that no one else get a say? Why is it so important that only you get a say? The answer is rarely ever for good reasons. So
Sure.
that's the lawsuit that we brought.
Okay, so I know that they also boast that they have the largest cattle organization in the state, but there's another organization called the Independent Beef Association of North Dakota, who they're more independent cattle producers, and they boast about the numbers, but yet when they sign up, I'll give you an example. The one I used this 10 years ago when they were trying to get the and forgive me if it's not 10 years exactly, but when they tried to get the extra $1 check off for North Dakota. Julie Ellingson has 5 kids. All 5 of them were members of the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. We have 4 kids. Our kids were not members of the Independent Beef Association of North Dakota. So there, you can actually stack up numbers. And we've been a member off and on with the Stockmans in the past. And the one year we were at an event, and the one gal, oh, we have an 8-day-old baby. And it's like, this is the youngest member of the North Dakota Stockmans. So you put that, and then they used to give away quite a few memberships. So all the legislators who were making these decisions were members of the North Dakota Stockmen's Association, which they should have to step away when they're making those decisions up at the Capitol and whatnot. But if you take away the banks, the babies, the businesses, and the bars that they give all these memberships to, we have the exact same amount or the 2 organizations have the same amount of members.
Yeah, this is the big thing, the Stockmen's Association. I got to depose them. And I said, what do you have to do to be a member? Do you have to raise cattle? No. Do you have to buy and sell cattle? No. Do you have to live in North Dakota? No. So you could be a brand new baby, born in Brooklyn, and your parents could sign you up for the NDSA so long as they pay a fee. That's it. And these are the people who get the exclusive right to decide who is going to control the beef commission in North Dakota. It's wrong. And again, this is not just about the Stockmen's Association. Right? Whether you like them or not, it's the principle. Do you want the people to control their government and to at least have a fair shot? Or do you want private associations to do it? How would you feel if the government said only Republicans can serve on this board, or only Democrats can serve on this board, or we're only going to appoint men, or we're only going to appoint people, Pacific Islanders, or whatever it is, any sort of discriminatory thing that the government does, our Constitution says that's not okay. That's not allowed. You can't do that. It doesn't change just because you're doing it on the basis of membership in a private organization or not. And the Stockmen's Association, I asked them, why do you not support an election system? Why not just let people elect? Every other checkoff is elected. Well, not enough people would run. That was the answer. Any other reason? No. Really? You don't think you could find 9 people in the state of North Dakota to run for a beef commission spot? I promise you that's not true, right? That's the only explanation they could come up with, right? And so what is the real answer? The real answer is they don't want to give up on that power. Because here's the other thing. The beef commission gives out grants. It gives out money, taxpayer money, and well, really beef producer paid money. It gives out grants. The Stockman Association has never once had a grant denied. The North Dakota Cattlewomen has never once had a grant denied. So they control the organization that is giving themselves money. I wouldn't give that up if I didn't have to, but that's why we have a constitution, because the Constitution says you have to give that up.
Wow.
I didn't know all this.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't have quite enough time for you to have a question. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to let the ladies fire some questions at you. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
We're not some big city operation with a call center that doesn't even know where North Dakota is. We're Beck, built and rooted in rural North Dakota. We're your neighbors, your cooperative, working together for more than 70 years to keep you connected to what matters most in your life. Our Beck Fiber is more than just internet service. It's what you rely on every day. And if you ever have a question, we're just down the road, ready to help. Beck Communications, committed to you because we're local too.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Yeah, U.S. Cattlemen is a member organization that each member has a vote in anything we do with policy. We're representing the independent cattleman or the cow-calf guy or an independent feeder or whatever. We like to support the independent producer. We're talking about mandatory ID, we're talking about COOL, we're talking about all the legislation that's going to be coming down with the new administration. There's going to be lots of moving and shaking, so always check us out at our website, uscattleman.org.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
When I first decided to invest in gold, I was a bit nervous and unsure how to start. Luckily, I found Noble Gold Investments. From the very first call, they made investing easy. No pushy sales tactics, no gimmicks, and no confusing free silver offers with hidden fees. Just honest advice tailored to my needs, giving me confidence every step of the way. If you're new to gold investing or want a partner you can trust, visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We've been visiting with attorney Robbie Doobie, and he's representing the Ranchers' Rights Initiative right here in North Dakota. They're trying to make the North Dakota Beef Commission an elected position rather than nominated by one organization. Robbie, welcome back to the show.
Always good to be here.
So I know when you guys had requested some information, and this is before they even hired you. They had requested some information, the open records from the state, and they came across these papers that had sticky notes on them referring to people that were members of the Independent Beef Association of North Dakota. So we'll just bring this first one up. And Nancy Jo Bateman, she was the executive director of the Beef Board, and Julie Ellingson is with the Stockmans, and it said they would not support this application appointment. So right there is proof that they were having a say in who is going to get onto the board and who is not. And they're not even supposed to be near that. Isn't that lobbying? Or explain that.
Well, so I will tell you, in the Stockman's deposition, they said, we never said that. We have no idea where they got that from. So it's an important disclaimer, but someone in the government put a sticky note in saying the executive director of the Beef Commission and the a high-level person in the NDSA do not support a specific candidate. That's never supposed to happen.
It's never, but here's another one, and because it wasn't just one. Here was another one. Board would rather have different applicant, already asked for who has applied, difficult nature, brother to a politician, Steve Tomac, but different. Okay, so anyway, that was another person that had applied. I think that was Miles Tomac when he applied. So they're right there, they're saying they can't do them. And then I have one more, and this was Alan Lund. They put a great big no on it, officer of IBAND, which is the Independent Beef Association of North Dakota. And so this is right on the bottom of that application. And so
no, circled.
Right.
And so
I mean, but this is what we've been saying. If you're not part of Stockman's Association, you need not apply. Right? The government has created a litmus test saying if you pay to be part of this private organization that has political power, you get a shot at having a say in our government. If you're not, you don't. We would not allow that in any other setting. We would not say, oh, you should only get to vote if you're a member of the, a member of this political party, or you're a member of, you have a Sam's Club membership, and therefore you get to vote on who gets to be the city council. We would say that's absurd. That is ridiculous. It's unconstitutional. It is exactly the same thing here. And by law, all the NDSA is supposed to do is make nominations, and the governor appoints. But these show that the NDSA, again, they claim they didn't, but the documents are what the documents are, has a say in and is calling the governor up or the governor's office and saying, we don't want this person. And the Beef Commission, which is supposed to have no say whatsoever in who gets appointed to it or not, is calling up the governor's office and saying, we do not want this person. Why? Because you're I-banned. Why? Because NDSA doesn't like you. That's wrong.
And the organization is 20 years old. They've been around for 20 years.
So obviously, as you've done your research on this association, has it always been operating like this? I mean, there had to be some kind of switch change, or just this is just kind of how they came together. This is what they've been doing from the beginning.
So the Beef Commission has been around since the 70s. That's when the Beef Commission Act was first made. And even all the way back then, the North Dakota Stockmen's Association had guaranteed spots. From the 1970s to now, hundreds of people have served in that commission, maybe almost 100. None. We cannot find a single one in the beef producer spot, the NDSA spot, that has not been an NDSA member. NDSA couldn't even identify a single non-NDSA member they've ever nominated to any of the spots. The best we have is 2 people in the 70s that we don't know if they are a member or not, a woman in the 90s that we determined was a member, and then the most recent one in 2024 who was the wife of the NDSA board member who had previously been on the commission. Right. So throughout the entire history, has NDSA been calling up the governor's office for the last 50 years and saying this is who we want, here's who we not want? We don't know that. What we do know is never in the NDSA's entire history have they ever nominated someone for the spot who has not been their member or a cattlewoman member. Never in the 50-year history, except for one person, has anyone ever made it onto that board who has not been an NDSA member.
So what would be the repercussions of this, right? I mean, where do we go from here?
Yeah, so what the court can do, the court has the ability to declare the law unconstitutional. So what it can do is it can declare portions of it unconstitutional, declare the whole thing. And if it declares it unconstitutional, then what happens is the legislature would have to pass a new bill to reconstitute the Beef Commission in a constitutionally acceptable way. And so what that would take, we have argued, is you cannot have private organizations with the right to appoint at all. You have to leave it open to everyone. Through the court, we can't get an election system. Only the legislature could do that, and that would make the most sense because every other checkoff does that. But we could at least make it so that the legislature stops violating the Constitution and stops privileging organizations. So the Beef Commission, what would likely happen is the court would declare it unconstitutional, and then probably would stay that ruling until the next legislative session, so the legislature has time to fix it, but the administration could keep running. That would be my guess, but they don't have to do that. They could just say it's unconstitutional and you need to stop. You're illegally constituted, you can't spend money, you can't take any actions.
So what are the biggest, and I'll just give a little bit of the history of it, and I've been on the Cattlemen's Beef Board, which is a CBB, and so I can get, and granted, I've never applied to be on the North Dakota Beef Commission, so I can't say that I wouldn't ever get on, but I can get on to a big federal organization. Anyway, I'll just use the Beef It's What's for Dinner commercial. It's a $10 million project. And I'm using round figures, but it's right around $10 million. And this is something that's been used for over 20 years. In fact, I want to say it's closer to 40, but don't quote me at the exact time. Anyway, everyone remembers Beef It's What's for Dinner, with Sam Elliott. Anyway, that's been going on forever. It's a $10 million program, and $5 million of it is for the work that is done, and $5 million of it, the other $5 million, is implementation fees. That is the administrative fees that it takes to run that program. And it's like, okay, so one of the questions I had asked, I said, if I were to go to the bank, my bank, and say, I need to borrow $3 million, I want to build a feedlot. The banker's going to say, I need to see an estimate with a complete breakdown. And it's like, well, no, just trust me. And it's like, no, I need to see a breakdown. Oh, no, just trust me, I'll get it all done. No banker's ever going to do that. So the Cattlemen's Beef Board is the one that controls all the funding, but most of the funding goes to the NCBA, which is the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. So what happens with that $5 million? And I asked Greg Haynes, I said, well, we need a better breakdown. We need transparency. We just need to see. We're not saying it's not spent, but let's see this other $5 million in the implementation fees. And his answer to me in front of the entire board is, Mary, we just have to trust them. And it's like, where can you go to a bank and the banker says, oh, I trust you. Go ahead, start your feedlot. We'll make sure the money's there. And so that's the part that's so frustrating for me. And again, I'm not against the checkoff dollar. We love the checkoff, but we want it to be used for its intended purpose, to help the cattlemen, help the cattle industry, where a lot of the lobbying done by the NCBA, they also lobby for the packers. And so there's a conflict of interest there. We just want that money to stay with the beef industry.
Yeah, I mean, I think you put it really well. And a lot of it has to do with accountability, right? It's if you're going to be spending all this money, people should get to have a say in how it's spent. And that's really the big problem here, is that if I don't pay to join your organization, I don't get a say in how the government spends its money. That's never acceptable. We had a whole revolution about taxation without representation here. And it's really no different. I mean, I just can't believe that people would accept this in any other setting. But when it comes to the NDSA, people have a lot of really fond feelings towards the NDSA. There's a lot of people in North Dakota who like it, who are members, say, hey, I know the people there, they're good guys. It doesn't matter whether they're good guys or not. It matters whether the system that's been set up is constitutional or not. This one is not. Right. And this is the big thing I always do with my cases across the country too, about referendum rights. I don't care whether you would vote for or against the referendum. What I care about is that you get the right to do it. You get the right to your constitutional rights. I don't care what you say with your free speech rights. I just care that you get the right to say it. You know, I don't care what kind of gun you want to buy with your Second Amendment rights or whether you don't like guns at all. I care that you get your Second Amendment rights, right? That is the kind of country we have. We have a country founded on these constitutional privileges, that we have these innate rights given to us by God, not by the government, and they are ours inalienably. The government cannot take it away. It is no different here when the government is trying to take away people's right to representation by saying, unless you pay to join this private organization, you don't get a say. It's unacceptable.
I guess they call that the good old boy network. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this and any other topics that the ladies might have. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Stop out to our facility, Highway 22 South. Let us build a truck for you.
When there's a storm on the horizon, you typically don't get a lot of advance notice. So you brace yourself as best you can and rebuild when it's over. Times like these are what insurance is for, the protection of our livelihoods, our families, our homes, and our lives. We support our community coming together in times of need. As an independent insurance agency, we tailor our services to your needs. At Dakota Community Insurance, we can help you weather the storm. Talk to one of our agents today.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Let's be frank, it's a pain to be without your vehicle after an accident. That's why you should take it to Jerome's Collision Center. Our shop is supersized, and we have the qualified staff to fill it up and work on your vehicle, step by step, piece by piece. in crazy fast time without sacrificing quality. When you need us, we'll turn your bad experience into a good one. We're Jerome's Collision Center, and we're the best at what we do.
Hey, I'm Corey Heppola, and I grew up in a small town.
This road used to be gravel.
But a long time ago, I left to live in a big city. Now, I wonder...
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
What would it be like to move back?
Man, it's mad love up in here.
So, I'm traveling to different small towns across the Midwest to find out. Because what do I really know about rural living? Oh. The people.
If there is anything that you can say about this town, it's that we take care of each other.
The innovation.
So none of this equipment even existed.
And the opportunities.
It's like every year in the spring, there's always like a revitalization of just excitement.
This is my town.
Pull! Oh, jeez! You were close.
7 episodes. Sunday night, 6:30 on Beck TV.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. We've been visiting with Robbie Doobie. He's become a pretty good advocate for citizens right here in North Dakota. He's been working with different groups and whatnot. More recently, he's with the Ranchers' Rights Initiative, and I ask everyone to check them out. It's a nonprofit group representing unaffiliated ranchers, along with 3 individual ranchers who have filed a lawsuit regarding the checkoff. And you can go ahead, if you want to make a donation, just log on to their, they have a LinkedIn on their Facebook page, Ranchers' Rights Initiative. So there's a link tree, there's a couple different ways that you can donate to them. These guys, after this week, I think they have close to over $200,000 into it. They have a $40,000 bill pending right now. And it's all been paid by 3 individuals, plus a few donations, 2 donations at $10,000, and the rest of them have been under that. And so it's, you know, they're fighting for every cattle producer right here in North Dakota. Welcome back to the show, Robbie.
Oh, happy to be here. And yes, it's always frustrating me that regular citizens have to stand up to fight their government while the government gets to use your taxpayer dollars. Unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. So those men are very brave, put themselves out there and to stand up, and I'm very proud of them.
Amen.
Can I ask, because I mean, with an association like this, I mean, and you know, I want to say good boy, you know, good old boys club, and you know, not letting people in and this and that. How is it for the people that have brought the lawsuit, and you know, are they okay? I mean, you know, because you just wonder when you're going after someone like this, an association, I always just worry, you know, the pushback and things like that.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, they're brave men. They knew what they were getting into when they signed up for this. They got skin probably thicker than the cowhides that on their own cattle. So, you know, I think they're doing well. A lot of people have come out of the woodwork to support them, say thank you for standing up, thank you for fighting for this. We're with you, we're behind you. And a lot of people have said, how dare you try to take on the Stockmans? Why are you so anti-Stockman? Get out of the way. They're doing good work. Do you hate these people? No, I just love our Constitution. I love, you know, fighting for our rights. So it's been a mix, but I think they're in good spirits. I think they are standing strong, and I think they're doing well.
So what is the checkoff dollar? I just have to ask about that. You know, I was just a little confused on that.
We probably should have started with that for our city people.
That's a great question. So it's basically a sales tax. So every time I sell a head of cattle, I pay $1 to the state checkoff, so checkoff tax basically, and I pay $1 to a federal checkoff. Then inside that checkoff, the state dollar goes fully to the North Dakota Beef Commission, and then half of the federal checkoff goes to the Beef Commission. So basically, if I sell a cow, $1.50 is going, or steer, or whatever, $1.50 is going to go to the state, 50 is going to go to federal. So it's just a sales tax. Every time that cattle is sold, you pay a new checkoff. So if I have a heifer and her calf and I sell it up, that's $1 for each of them, $2 for each of them. They get that calf up to 800, sell it off to, a feedlot. They're paying it. Feedlot sells it off again at auction. They're paying it. So it just keeps going up and up and up. That's a tax.
And so we should also talk a little bit about the North Dakota checkoff, beef checkoff, because that is something that's relatively new, like say in the last 10 years or so. And I attended all of those hearings, and they didn't even know what they were going to use the checkoff dollar for. They couldn't answer what it was for. It's like, well, we don't know yet because we don't have the money yet. Anyway, so during that hearing, yeah, it was crazy. But you know what? And there's so many things, Robbie, I could go on forever on that as far as some of the legalities, but I won't on air. But at the very end of it, one of our legislators, Craig Hedlund, and he's always been a friend of mine, he said, every dollar better stay in the state. Those were his last words. And guess what? The money does not stay in the state. Most of it gets sent to the Federation of State Beef Councils, which there goes to the NCBA. So this dollar that they said was for North Dakota beef producers is being sent out of state anyway. So it's like, they just don't understand okay, so there are other beef councils that don't have a lot of ranchers. The Northeast Initiative is a big one because, it's up by New York City. There's a huge population, but there's not a lot of cattle. We're around here, we have more cattle than we have people. So those people could use some money. So rather than sending them, say, a couple $100,000 or even $500,000, instead of sending it to them directly, they funnel it through the Federation, who funnels it through NCBA, who takes their implementation fees, and then they'll send it to the Northeast Initiative. Now, if we were smart, we'd take that money and send it to them and let them spend more money. They'd have more money to spend. But it gets through so many different pockets before it gets to the place that needs it. It's just kind of wasteful, in my opinion. And so, but I still go back to, he said it better stay in the state, and the beef checkoff has done some great things here in the state. One of the big ones is up at the Minot State Fair. They have a free beef feed for all the military veterans and their families. So they do great things. The beef, they do the athletes at NDSU, and then they also donate some beef to different school, like beef sticks and whatnot, to different athletic groups and stuff. And so there are some great things. But it could be better. It could be better if you got more people with diverse ideas onto that board, because it's just a board of yes, let's do that. Yes, let's do that. Yeah, and it's just, and that's just the way it's been. Again, in my opinion. So do you care to expand on that at all, Robbie?
Well, expand on your opinion? No, but I will. I think you put it out well. No, it's important when you get a checkoff. When you pay the checkoff, you have the right to seek a refund statute, right? If you do that, you're disqualified from serving on the Beef Commission. That's another thing that our guys have challenged. The idea being that doesn't make sense that your qualification should be dependent on whether you pay the tax or not. You get to vote whether you pay a tax or not. You can be governor whether you pay a tax or not. You can be president whether you've paid your taxes or not, right? Why could you not serve on a government body if you legally get a refund, right? And there's a lot of people in the state who get tax refunds on everything. And what the government said was, well, we want to make sure people buy in. Well, there's two problems with that. If the government says you can have a position only if you agree with the government's viewpoint, that's illegal. That violates your First Amendment rights. I don't have to agree with what President Biden or President Trump or President Obama says to do something. I get to just do it because I'm an American, right? So that's issue number one. The second one is the finances don't even make sense. If I have 100 cows that I sell and I don't seek a refund, $150 just went to the state. If I have 1,000 cows that I sell and I seek a refund, $500 went to the state, because the federal checkoff still goes no matter whether you get a refund. So even if you get a refund, you're still contributing to the checkoff. It doesn't make sense to say, oh, we want you to make sure you contribute. You contribute no matter what. So legally, it doesn't make sense to me why you would have that. It's not necessary. And I think it's just a way to try to punish people who exercise their right to get the tax refund they're entitled to.
Right, and another discrepancy too, and is something that they don't even want to discuss, is because they've talked about even raising the federal checkoff. But all right, I can sell a day-old calf, and now day-old calves are going for a lot this year. They were going for about $1,000, but a few years back they were going for $300, $400, $500. But On the same token, bulls are being sold, just an average bull is $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, but they'll sell for $40,000, $50,000, $80,000, up to $1 million in the state of North Dakota, and they pay $1. And so you have the purebred people who might sell, say their bull average is $30,000 or whatever that is, and they sell 100 of them, they still pay $1 per head. And then you have maybe a rancher who has 20 or 30 headed cattle, they pay $1 per head. And so I don't know, maybe it should be based on a percentage. I'm not saying that's the answer. I just think the answer is let's have more accountability and transparency on those implementation fees that go through the NCBA.
Right. I mean, anyone who, when you suggest let's have more transparency, they say, well, what you have to understand is, I mean, that tells you exactly what you need to know, right? Anyone who has to clear their throat about accountability or sunshine laws or anything like that is already not aligned with open and transparent government.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. I can't believe the time just flies when you're with us, Robbie. We're going to take a quick break. We have one more segment with you, and then, of course, the lighter side. Don't go away.
You know the rule. No phones at the dinner table.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just Noble Gold Investments. I bought some gold for the kids.
Finally.
Well, the gold you bought me gives me so much security in this economic disaster we're having. I want that for them too.
Well, I've been investing with Noble Gold Investments for years, and I'm pretty sure they can wait until after lunch.
Invest in something you can hold. Invest in Noble Gold. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to learn more.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Find relief for what ails you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Teas, supplements, tinctures, and more. Formulated to fight whatever has you down. We're Bismarck Mandan's favorite place to find delicious, natural, and easy ways to alleviate symptoms brought on by anything from colds to cancer. Brew a better you at Steep Me Tea Apothecary. Steep Me products may cause side effects, including but not limited to improved mood, deeper sleep, enhanced hydration, renewed sense of smell, increased energy levels, superior balance, boosted immunity, proper digestion, restored sense of calm, and a delightful smelling home.
Welcome to Radiant Retreat Tanning and Spa in Mandan, where a relaxing spa experience meets the latest in healing innovations. Take total control of your massage in our Hydro Massage Bed. Experience whole body healing in our Zero Body Cryo Bed. Let our salt sauna and halo generator restore your respiratory and skin health. And of course, tailored tanning will keep you looking as good as you feel. Discover your best self at Radiant Retreat, 1307 1st Street Northeast, Mandan.
We're from North Dakota, where 12,000 workers bring electricity to 2 million customers and provide over $5 billion in economic activity to the state, while reclaiming 22,000 acres of land. This is coal country.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. I know I'm supposed to talk about this masculine man. This is a product that we have been promoting here at Beck, and we use it at home. I just got an order for Kenny and myself, or the whole family for that matter, but it smells so good. Smell this, you guys.
I know, it's delicious.
And there's like no aluminums, no parabens. It's healthy
And it's
for
fresh.
you. And it's fresh.
Yeah, it doesn't smell manly. Like
No.
I don't like a man sandals smell.
Yeah.
And that is just nice and clean.
Amen to that. So I can't, if you guys just go ahead, log on. I believe it's Masculine Man. There it is. Masculine Man. I'm trying to find it. Anyway, be awesome, don't stink, all right? So just log on, get you some, and use the LOAV10 as your discount. You get 10% off. But thinking of something else that doesn't stink, Robbie Doobie, welcome back to the show.
What a
segue.
lead.
Wow, what a lead in.
Yeah. So anyway, in the last few segments, we've been talking about the beef checkoff here, the North Dakota beef checkoff for that matter. Before we start talking about one of your other endeavors, anything else you want to just very quickly update us on, whether it's that lawsuit or something that you're working on with China, because you're also representing people with data centers as well. Now, I don't want to use up all the time because I want to save a few minutes, but what do you have?
Well, I'll just drop a hint that I can't say too much more right now, but there are citizens in North Dakota I am actively advising on data center stuff. So there might be more to come there. But if anyone's listening here who has data centers coming in, know that you can stop them, you can fight them. They are not a done deal, despite what your elected officials might tell you. And they really are bad news. I've been at farms and ranches and homes near data centers, and my body has literally been shaking from the sound waves coming off of these data centers. So they're quiet, they barely use water, they don't pollute the air. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, and do not believe it when your elected officials tell you that.
And so what people need to do is if they are coming, because some say they are inevitable, make sure that your ordinances are in place to avoid some of that. But some of that vibration, you just can't get away from it.
No, you can't. I mean, the sound can really harm animals, can harm young children and babies too. I mean, they're putting data centers next to schools and retirement homes and next to nature preserves, and they're saying it's all going to be fine. It's not. It's going to hurt people. It has been hurting people.
Yep, that's what they're doing right now in Mandan is, it's going to be by a middle school, a high school, lots of residents. So you're going to have your kids,
And they say that they can't concentrate. It disrupts the frontal lobe, and that's where they get their thinking from. Or their impulses and whatnot. And there's been a couple schools that have actually filed lawsuits already because the kids can't concentrate. They don't sleep at night. It's been just horrible. I mean, I'm all about progress. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about it if there's something. But they say that quantum computing is already on board, and these are going to be obsolete in 5 years. So why spend the billions of dollars getting them in place if they're going to be obsolete? Like, what are these buildings really for?
Yeah, I mean, all the data centers that are being built right now will be obsolete within 3 to 5 years. I mean, that's just how fast these computers are developing. And so you're going to be stuck, I think, with a lot of brown sites, a lot of environmentally damaged sites that you can't use for anything. And a lot of those are taking up absolutely pristine prime farmland, destroying it to plop these data centers in, putting them right in front of aquifers, water beds, wells, because that's where the water is, and draining all the water out. And then they turn around and say, sorry, farmers.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't think our farmers enough, that's for sure. We don't think our ranchers enough. And
well, speaking of our farmers, before we switch over, I just wanted to really thank our farmers, and I'm going to thank our ranchers, and Robbie, I know you're a rancher too, and Mary, you guys do so much work for feeding America and feeding our people and keeping us green and keeping us healthy. I'm not thanking you for spraying your fields, but that's a whole nother conversation. But just thank you guys, because I don't think we get enough credit, and I feel like we're in a land where, Bill Gates is trying to push farmers out and eat fake meat with 30 ingredients instead of beef. I love beef. Grass-fed beef. It's great for you. So anyways, I just wanted to thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
And you're very welcome.
Yeah.
And I prefer grain-fed beef. It has a little more fat in it because you need fat for your brain.
You do need fat.
So
Yes.
anyway, but hey, Robbie, on another side note, there's something that you have been working on, and I have my copy. It's a book. You are also an author. So tell us just real quickly how this came about.
yeah, thank you so much I didn't know you were going to put that up there. That's really fun. So I wrote a fantasy book. It's called Ursa. It's like an epic fantasy, not like wizards and dragons, but kind of like big, inspired by the fall of the Roman Empire. Follows 5 characters as they try to save, destroy, or simply survive the empire's collapse. So there's battles, there's drama, there's political intrigue, there's backroom deals, there's beautiful landscapes and sailing adventures and everything. So I think it's a lot of fun. It's not meant for kids, so I hope it doesn't end up in any high school libraries or anything like that. It's not that level. It's for adults for sure. And a lot of late nights is how it came about. A lot of once baby and wife went to sleep working on it and working with an editor and a publisher to get that out. And it's wherever you buy books. So if you want to go to your local bookstore, they can get it there. If you go on Amazon, you can get it there. I think we're running a promo right now on the ebook, so it's just $1. And then you can also always reach out to me directly if you'd like a signed copy of a paperback or hardcover. We can arrange that too.
And how do we reach out to you?
Yeah, so if you ever want to talk about any of this data center stuff, any of this lawsuit or the book, you can reach out to me at my email address. It's just rdube@ecklandblando.com. So rdube@ecklandblando.com. I also have a Facebook author page. So if you just search author Robbie Dube, it'll pop right up and you can follow me and message me there if you want to talk about the book at all.
Yeah, and
I just want to talk about, as he did the description for this book, I feel like you got a lot of inspiration in your works that you do currently.
I was thinking the
and I was
same
like, the way you described it, I was like, where did you get that
All these
inspiration
backroom
from?
dealings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, people say authors pull from real life, their own experiences, so,
And you want to make it kind of that mythical make-believe. Maybe it's not true. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah, I think I was inspired a lot by Game of Thrones and Dune and the Wheel of Time series, so if people are into those kind of like fantasy sci-fi stuff, I think it's going to be really up your alley. But my wife does not like fantasy at all. She's all nonfiction. She's like, I don't want to waste my time. She loves it. Now, she may have to because she's my wife, but she likes it at least. So if you're not into fantasy, this might be the book that you're willing to give a try for.
Wonderful. And I know you recently had a book signing. How did that go?
Yeah, I did. So I was at a cute little bookstore called Cream and Amber, and yeah, there it is. So that's my beautiful wife. I got the better deal there, clearly. That shows Ursa is officially in bookstores, which was just kind of really surreal. And it was fun. We had over 20 people there. I did a reading of it, and I actually sold about 5 copies to people I'd never met before. And then obviously friends came and bought some copies too. But yeah, I had total strangers just say, hey, I like the reading. I want to buy this. Or just, cool, I'll support a local author. So that was a really fun experience.
And that's nice. And, because of the type of job that you have, it is high stress. And it's nice to have a release. And I know you have a new baby too. Must be approaching a year old by now. But that's why I can't figure out how you found the time to do it.
Well, it is a high-stress job. Your viewers may remember when I first started, I had hair. And so that is no longer the case. But yeah, my baby son, he's a year and a half.
A year and a half already.
Has a lot of opinions, which I can't imagine between me being a lawyer and his mom being opinionated, how he possibly developed that. And he recently learned the word no and uses it quite liberally. A lot of things are no. I'm hearing a no a lot in my house right now.
All right. Well, we can't raise those liberal kids though. They need to.
No.
I'm just teasing. All right. So,
but I love it. Being a dad's a beautiful, wonderful thing.
It really is. All right. So we just want to say thank you for joining us today. And just for our viewers, if you want to reach out to the Ranchers' Rights Initiative, you can find them on Facebook and their contact information. If we can bring those graphics up again, please. For Ranchers' Rights Initiative, it's the RRI. Okay, so there's a link tree basically where you can make donations, and that helps offset some of the expenses that these 3 ranchers, 3 men are taking this on by themselves with a few donations. So, Robbie, thanks for kind of giving us an update as far as how this is going along. And when do you expect an answer from the court?
Yeah, I would expect a ruling probably in October, maybe November. I think the court gets about 90 days. This is a pretty big one, and if we win, the government's going to take it to the Supreme Court for sure. So Judge Jackson Lofgren has a very good reputation for being very, very thorough, very good at what he does. I suspect he's going to take his time to really write a good, robust opinion on this.
Okay, and so why do you think if it's such a slam dunk, it would have to go to the Supreme Court? I mean, why do that?
Oh, the government will never accept something they're doing is unconstitutional. They'll always take it to the Supreme Court, and it's not their money. So what do they care, right? They're just spending taxpayer money. right? You know, when I have my clients, sometimes we lose, and I'll tell you, I've never lost an appeal. Oh, I did lose an appeal in the Supreme Court of a different state, overturned that, saying I should have won. I've never lost an appeal, but every time I go and talk to a client, it's a big analysis to make. It can be expensive. Do you want to roll the dice? Do you want to do this or not? Government doesn't have to do that. They can just say, it's not my money. Let's appeal. Might as well.
Right.
So they almost always do.
All right. So we have that to look forward to.
Yes.
Anyway, I want to thank you again for joining us, Robbie. We have to say goodbye for now, but people, please check out his book, Ursa, and you'll see another side of Robbie Doobie. I mean, not like you can't love him enough already. You're going to love him even more after you're done reading the book.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Thanks for having me, ladies.
All right, and we'll see you next time. And we'll see you right after the break. We're going to have our lighter side. Don't go away.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain, guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Welcome to Arrowhead Cleaners. Newly renovated, modernized, and ready to make your cleaning needs hassle-free. From commercial and residential wash and fold laundry services to the latest in professional dry cleaning techniques, we are dedicated to your unique needs, offering alterations, fabrications, and even custom hat making. So whether you're a busy professional, a family on the go, or even a rodeo champion, Arrowhead Cleaners is here to take your things from messed up to dressed up. Now celebrating our 64th year in Arrowhead Plaza.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
Oh, welcome back to Ladies of Another View on Beck. This brings us to our lighter side. I'm just going to give a shout out to myself, all right? It's my corn season.
You can do that.
I can do that. I'm the lead host. But anyway, so you won't see me for a couple of weeks because I'll be busy selling sweet corn again. And just for 2 weeks out of the year, it's just a high stress. Now here's, this was last year, I think. Yeah, so we just take the wagons out to the field, we get it stacked in the truck, and we bring it to town. And so it's just been a really kind of cool thing. And And not just for myself, but just check out all the different farmers markets. Support your local produce.
Always.
Support everyone who's doing this hard work. But that just kind of gives you an idea. Those kids are out there. Well, and they're older now, but at 7 o'clock every day, these kids would come out and pick it by hand. Well, we don't pick it by hand anymore. We do have a machine that picks it. But I just grabbed a few photos of some of the things over the years, how we've done it. This is a funny one because we'll be there, that's for sure. And we always worry about that, but we do have someone who actually does some trapping for us. Now, this is years ago. This is in 2014. And that's when we used to do it just one pickup load, and it wasn't even that high how we started. So, and this is a parade. That's one of my boys. Yeah,
that's funny.
It is. So it's been just a godsend. Now here's my mother and my husband and myself, a couple of our boys, and that's when we're over at Dakota Customs. Now that I want to
look
say,
at that.
Like 2013.
That's an oldie.
That is an oldie. And that's two of our girls, and the kids have done it. Now this is, this must have been about 2014, I think, and that's all four of our kids, and that's when we were still at Cenex.
Yeah, Cenex, you can't do that anymore. Got too big.
Kind of grew out of the parking spot, and
I've had clients asking when the corn is coming.
When the corn starts, yeah.
And the tall girl, that's not actually our daughter. It looks like her. And here's another one with my mom. She used to sell quite a bit of jelly, and so the people have always asked if she's going to have jelly. I don't think she will this year. She's having her 95th birthday. Now here's Sydney.
Wow.
She was about 3 years old there, and that's her grandma's. That's my husband's mother's old sign that she sold. And then here's where a woman sells corn and donates money to school. So sold a bunch of corn gave it to St. Mary's High School for their sports program. Now this one is really funny because the girls, they're so embarrassed to be dressed like their mom. They actually went shopping with me one day in their corn t-shirts, and so love that.
They're older now.
This lady here flew in from Arizona. She flies in every year on Allegiant, gets corn, and flies back home. That's how much that corn is absolutely loved across.
That's great.
the area.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Can't wait.
All right, so thanks for joining us here today. I want to remind you we have Best of the Best. We of course, Beck was nominated. We need you to log on. You can use that code or text to 515-3500. We have Best Video Production. We have a couple of hosts. Chris Brindle, he does all the rodeos for the NDRA. He's just amazing in the back room. And so we just ran out of time. Got to see you next time right here on Ladies Have Another View on Beck. Now go save our country and buy some corn and support your
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
We are the St. Mary Sisters. We are building a new facility here in Bismarck, North Dakota, for the sake of training young women to be courageous teachers in this state. The Sisters will educate the younger generation to be fully alive through truth and discipline. The Sisters' life of devotion and joy will make a positive difference in your community. Check out what we're up to, see what's going on, and join our mission to make a difference in the lives of the children of North Dakota.
I'm Gary Emineth, host of Open Range. We've been at this for the past couple years. Representative Matt Heilman of Bismarck and former legislator Brandon Pritchard are going to do some regular segments on Open Range. While we cover a lot of politics, we're still going to be continued doing mostly all things North Dakota. One exception, Friday evening, I'll be doing a new show on Open Range called On the Horn. This show will be long interviews of 3 to 5 hours with the people I'm interviewing. They'll be airing week after week on that Friday evening. So thank you for being a part of the Beck TV and Open Range family.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands,
affordable prices, and the team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I want to tell you, Lady Blue and I, we got a lot of miles together, but you know what? You and I got a lot of miles together as well. And all I want to do is bring to you the information on how we maintain a domestic supply of food and fuel for future generations. So I'm going to continue to travel the world and unearth the stories that make it possible that we can live in a free United States of America.
I'm Corey Heppola, and a long time ago I left my small town for a big city. Now I wonder, what would it be like to move rural?
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
This is my town.
Man, it's mad love up in here.
Sunday night, 6:30 on Beck TV.